Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about she talks to me but she has no interest in me. So today I'm answering a question from a viewer. I'm going to be shaking up my content a little bit and doing this sort of thing a lot more. So if you have a question for me and there's something you'd like me to answer, then please do write it down in the comments and I will create a video on it if I feel like it's aligned with things perhaps I've never spoken about before, or it's something that I feel like is really, really important. So the question that I'm going to answer today is from a viewer, and they asked, my crush don't want me to give me her number, and now I am trying to walk away, but I keep on going back. I'm trying to walk away from her and avoid all contact. She talks to me but has no interest in me. So you have a crush that you've asked for her number and she doesn't want to give it to you, but you still seem to be drawn to her, you still want to talk to her, you still want to be around her and things like that, which is fair enough. But the point is that the reason why you might be feeling this way, the reason why you might be still quite drawn to her, is first of all that, attraction isn't a choice. You can't help being attracted to her, just like how she can't help not being attracted to you. Okay? So if a girl doesn't give you her number when you ask for it, unfortunately, there isn't really much you can do about it, because if she liked you, then she would have given it to you, if she liked you in that way. But unfortunately, she doesn't. I mean, it's good that she's still talking to you, because obviously that means she probably is still open to being friends with you. Obviously, you haven't creeped her out so much that she avoids you or done anything like that. So obviously, you've done the right thing, because she's not avoiding you. She still likes you in some way, but perhaps just not in the way that you are hoping for. But there's a quote, I think Tony Robbins said it first, and that is, rejection breeds obsession. So that might be one of the reasons that you're drawn to her and you keep on being drawn back to her, because she's rejected you. And if you're still attracted to her, yeah, it kind of stings, and perhaps you're still hoping that there's something that you can do, something you can say, some magic words that you can say to change this thing around. But unfortunately, in this kind of scenario where she has flat out said no and is not giving you her number, there's not really a lot you can do. And of course, this doesn't mean that you just ignore her completely and things like that. Obviously, it's someone that you see on a regular basis. At least that's what it seems like. It seems like this is someone that perhaps you go to school with or you go to work with, so someone you interact with quite regularly. So, all you have to do is just be cordial, just be really nice to her. As in, like, not overly nice, but I'm saying, like, just treat her like everybody else that you are in the same environment with. So, like, when you get in, you're just like, hey, how are you? How you doing? Like, how you do with everybody else. Like, just treat her like the other acquaintances that you have in that environment. That's all you have to do. But don't become mean or cold to her. Just always be like, hey, nice to see you, that kind of thing. Just be like that, because there's not really much else that you can do. So I do suggest that you move on from this crush, because there's nothing you can do really. If she liked you, she would have given you her number. Okay, so find a new crush, find someone else, move on to the next woman. Because the idea is that if you're trying to find a girlfriend, or you're trying to find someone that you can be in a long-term relationship with, if you come across a rejection from a woman, you just have to allow it and then just move on to the next woman, right? Just keep on going. Because if you want to find a girlfriend, if you want to find someone to settle down with, then the best thing for you is to not dawdle, not stick around the ones that reject you, right? Especially if you're still hoping that something may happen. You have to let that all go and you have to just move on to the next. If you're old enough, then get yourself a few dating apps and start dating new women and new girls in your area. But do not stick around if you get faced with rejection, because there's not much you can do. I mean, she said to you, no, I'm not going to give you my number when you asked for it, right? She's probably still talking to you. You shouldn't see her, basically, her still talking to you as a sign that she is still interested in you or is interested in you. She's probably just being nice and social with you. It's nothing romantic, because if she liked you, she would have given you that number, but she didn't. Because the thing is that you just can't stay fixated on one girl when you're single, because if you are and you've only got this one girl that you're interested in, when she rejects you, it's gonna sting obviously first, but you need to let these types of women just go. You need to, if a woman rejects you, you need to let it go, because there's nothing really else you can do about it, right? If she became more interested in you, then you'll hear about it, right? She will eventually give you her number. She'll come up to you and start speaking to you in a more romantic way. But it seems like she's not. She's just being friendly towards you. So there's not really much else you can do. So don't ever stay fixated on just one woman, especially one that has rejected you. You need to, be looking out for new women that you can date, new women that you could be with, and ask for numbers from different women now. Okay, because if you don't want to stay hanging around with this girl because she's rejected you, there's nothing else you can do. You're in the friend zone at this point, and you don't want to be hanging around that kind of situation for too long, okay? And especially if you still have feelings. It might be the case that you're okay with being friends with her, which is fine, okay? If that's okay with you, especially if you're in an environment where you see each other a lot. Sometimes you have to be around people that you have crushes on if you go to school with them or if you work with them. So you can't completely walk away from them and go into no contact with them because you see them all the time. But you can still be cordial. You can still be nice with them. You can still, talk to them and be friendly, but as long as you're treating them like everybody else, okay? But really you have to move on and not stick around emotionally with this girl, which can be difficult when you have a high attraction for her. But she said no to giving you her number, and there's not really much else you can do about that apart from find new girls that you can talk to, develop a new crush on someone else, things like that. But if you get rejected, you have to see it as, okay, that woman's out, I need to focus on someone else. That's how you got to see it every single time you get rejected. Because dating and finding someone that you want to settle down with is a game of numbers. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you have to date 10 people in order to find the one for you. Sometimes you may have to date 20 people. Sometimes you may have to date 30 people or 100 people in order to... It all depends on luck, and it also depends on your persistence as well. Because it may not take that long for you to find someone. Because the good news about living here in the West, I know it can be different in different countries and different cultures, but you only need to find one partner. You only need to find one person who you really like and they really like you, and you gel well with them and you have a lot of the same interests. You only need to find one of those and then you're set, okay? So that's what you got to hold out hope for. You will find someone eventually if you just meet enough women. You will find one that thinks that you're the best thing since sliced bread if you just keep on meeting new women, right? You will find one eventually, okay? It's just a game of numbers. Okay, it's like if you treat it very mathematically, then it makes a lot of sense. It's the law of probability, right? The probability is you will find someone that you really like, that really likes you, if you keep on going, okay? So obviously this kind of situation it sucks, right? It doesn't feel nice to be rejected. It doesn't feel nice to have a crush on someone and they refuse to give you their number because you can just tell that they're not into you, okay? So you have to admit that it sucks. Don't deny anything to yourself. Don't deny that it's, it's all fine when it's not. Like, if it hurts, it hurts. Okay, it does sting to be rejected. It's not a nice feeling. Okay, so just admit that it hurts and let it go and move on until you find someone that does like you, that does give you her number, okay? So I'm going to go back to attraction isn't a choice. Now, attraction isn't a choice is a quote by David D'Angelo. And basically what this means is that if a woman likes you, there's not going to be much that they're going to be able to do about it because they are just drawn to you, right? But also a woman that isn't attracted to you, they can't help it either. If a woman's not attracted to you, there's not much she can do. Even if she thinks that you're great, even if she thinks, oh yeah, that person's really nice, they would make a really good boyfriend, husband, whatever. But if they're not attracted to you, there's nothing they can do about it. They're like, oh yeah, I really like you, and I like your personality, but there's just something not there. Okay, so I highly recommend that if you type in David D'Angelo, attraction isn't a choice, that video of his will come up for you, and I recommend you watch that because he explains it really, really well. And that's a great quote. Because we all have these sort of like navigation systems inside of us that tells us who we're attracted to. Okay, and what you're looking for is you're looking for someone that you're attracted to and they're attracted to you back. Okay, but a lot of the time that's not going to be the case. You're going to find a girl attractive and they're not going to be attracted to you, just like in this circumstance. Or a girl will be attracted to you and you're not attracted to them and you're like, oh no. You have that kind of like, oh God, yeah, I can see you as a friend or a sister, but I don't like you in that way. And I've had situations like that as well. Because as a lesbian, like, I'm not attracted to every single woman that I see. And I'm sure you watching this, the whatever sex you're attracted to, you're probably not attracted to every single person of that sex that you like, that you are attracted to. Okay, so just makes sense that not everyone that you like is going to like you back. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.